guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be a Scent Safari episode. Today we're taking a look at a house called Masque Milano. You guys know how Scent Safari works. Reach out to a house that I have some interest in. Sometimes they reach out to me, ask for some samples. If they hit me up, I'll take 4 of them and give you sort of first impressions on those samples, mess around with them the day that I shoot the video, and sort of let you know what I think of them, whether I think they're worth you guys checking out. I tend to pick the 4 that either I'm most interested in or usually have the most appeal in our community. Before we go into the 4 that I've picked out from Masque Milano, let me give you a little bit of background information on this super niche, super exclusive Italian house. Obviously an Italian niche perfumery founded by 2 gentlemen, Riccardo Tedeschi and Alessandro Brun in Milan. This house was founded around 2012. There's actually a Masque fragrance line and a Masque cosmetic line. As of filming, they have a total of 9 fragrances in their collection. The earliest one was created back in 2012, the most recent 2016. If you live in New York City, you can check these out in person at Twisted Lily and BK. And if you're just in the United States, you can purchase these online at Lucky Scent. If you're in LA, you can check these out at Scent Bar. I'm going to link to the brand's description in the website, so if you're outside of the areas mentioned, you can find where you can check Masque Milano's work out. We're going to look at 4. We're actually going to look at 3 of their older fragrances and 1 of their newer fragrances. So the one we're going to start with, guys, is called Montecristo. And 100 ml of this guy retails for $215. Delphine Terry is the perfumer behind this one. I'm not super familiar with her work. I know she's done some fragrances for Malbrum and Luon. And this is the fragrance that really got me interested in this house. I heard just crazy things about this very sort of interesting tobacco fragrance, sort of animalic tobacco fragrance. And note-wise on this one, we get ambrette, rum, and cabruela at the top, which I guess is a sort of wood, tobacco, celery seed, labdanum, and benzoins in the middle, styrax, hyrax, gaiac wood, cedar wood, and patchouli in the base. Now for me, I like this one. I do. I don't think I'd wear it. I think the styrax and hyrax, which are 2 animal resins, are just super dominant when you spray this one on. And I mean, guys, this is straight up animal pheromones in the highest order maybe I've smelled. I've grown to appreciate fragrances like leather oud and some of the Xerjoff ouds and even Cure d'Arabie by Montal for what are sort of looked at as animalic fragrances, even though, you know, those are questionably animalic. No, this is the real deal animalic. If you like animal notes, even, you know, if they're not the real deal due to restrictions, then this is the one you want to check out, because this is about like straight up tobacco leaf and animal notes for me. I just get just an onslaught of woods, ambrette, booze, tobacco, and styrax and hyrax, and I like it. I just think it's a little too much for me to wear. I appreciate this one very much as a fragrance. I think it's really well done. I could see liking this one as I progress in my sort of fragrance evolution. But as of now, I think for me, it's honestly a little bit too much. I think you get a lot more animal notes than you do actually tobacco. That's my opinion. Doesn't make it right, but if you like animal notes and tobacco, this is definitely going to be up your alley, and I totally applaud Masque Milano for being very real and daring with this one, and not just mailing it in and making a sort of tobacco vanille clone. So props. The next one we're going to talk about is called Tango. 100 ml of this one's going to cost you $240. Cecile Zarokian is the perfumer behind this one, and you're going to get amber, jasmine, Turkish rose, cumin, cardamom, cinnamon, tonka, benzoin, sandalwood, gaiac, cedar, and mellow make up this scent. Now, this is a fragrance that I actually had talked about on a sample shopping episode, and I wasn't blown away by it. but I really enjoy this one now. I think this is a gorgeous amber fragrance. That's what I look at this one as. It's primarily amber. There's some beautiful rose in this one. Cinnamon is there too. Sandalwood. It's a woody amber fragrance with rose and spices, and it is smooth as it could be. Um, it's just gorgeous. It's certainly bottle worthy. I can't believe I looked at this one before and was dismissive of it. I'm really starting to appreciate Cecile Zarokian's work. And just here, this is just a masterful blend of that amber with the Turkish rose, with the cinnamon, with the sandalwood, with the tonka. It's sweet. It's not too sweet. It's ambery. It's resinous. It's dense. It's thick. It's perfect to spray in a scarf. Beautiful amber fragrance. Huge fan of Tango. So I really enjoy this one. Next one is one I had not smelled before, or even heard of before, to be honest with you guys. It's called Terralba. It's $215 for 100 ml, and this one was also done by Delphine Terry. And this one has clary sage, lemon, green tangerine, myrtle, thyme, curry leaves, everlasting flower, mastic, juniper, cypress, and cedar. And for me, this is sort of a super green aromatic fragrance. It sort of smells like being out in like dry brush or dry bush, if that makes sense to you. You get this clary sage, you get curry leaves, you get the mastic. I'm starting to really enjoy mastic as a note. There's definitely cypress in this one, juniper. It's super herbal and super green, almost a modern fougere. Really crisp, really fresh. You could mistake this one almost for a barbershop fragrance. I wouldn't say it's that because it's missing sort of the lavender that you might find in a barbershop fragrance, but it's almost sort of a woodsy outdoors barbershop fragrance. It's super fresh. You still have that lemon, but in the tangerine, but it's just really rustic. Almost like I sort of think of an Italian man who has like a villa, who's out doing work in the garden, and this might be something he wears. I really enjoy this one. Almost sort of like an Italian version of Sartorial by Penhaligon. Just beautiful composition. The last one we're going to talk about is called Lattessa. And this is the one that I was really anxious to try because I'm an iris junkie. This one is 35 ml for $165. It's one of their two newer fragrances. There's one called Romanza and one called Lattessa. Luca Maffei did this, and I'm starting to develop a legitimate appreciation for Luca's work. He's working mainly with Italian niche houses like Laboratorio Olfativo, Peccato Originale, and the note-wise on this one, we're going to get bergamot, champagne, and neroli. There's a champagne accord, neroli, iris, orris root, so that double hit of iris and the orris root, tuberose, ylang-ylang, sandalwood, leather, and oak moss. And guys, I got to tell you, oh my god, this is orgasmic iris, straight up. This is maybe, it's got to be one of the best iris fragrances I've ever smelled. It's probably top 3 or 4. I love Iris Silver Mist by Serge Luton. I love Iris by Xerjoff, the XJ line. I love that iris fragrance. I love the iris fragrance that Le Labo did, even though some people think it's too feminine. I wear it. I think it's beautiful. It's just a buttery, creamy iris here with a little bit of yeasty, not boozy champagne, yeasty champagne. You're going to get leather in this one. You're going to get a little bit of tropical ylang-ylang, a little bit of tuberose, some sweetness from sandalwood. It's just thick, buttery, creamy iris for a price point that's sick. You cannot get an iris fragrance for this price point. 35 ml for $165, and this is a deal. This is going right to the top of my to purchase and do a full review on a bottle of this. And if I get it, if I'm able to purchase a bottle before year end, this is going to go on my end of year top 10 list. It might be top 3 at this point. It's just a beautiful sort of unadulterated iris, but barely touched by these other facets we're talking about. That yeasty champagne, a little bit of citrus, a little bit tropical lang lang, leather, and sandalwood. It is just, guys, oh my god, just as good as Iris gets. This is as good as an Iris perfume gets. So I really recommend checking these out, guys. I'm super impressed by Masque Milano. There's something here for everyone as far as I'm concerned. They sent me some other fragrances. I just want to talk to you about these four. You know, you have these animalic tobacco with Montecristo. You have this beautiful amber with Tango. You have this very green scent with Terralba. And you have this beautiful iris with Lattessa. So Masque Milano has really, I'm appreciating niche Italian, you know, brands like Odrio, Profumo Roma, Zerjov. They're really just, for me, I feel like what I'm most appreciating in fragrance right now, that's not to say there's not other countries, you know, doing great things, but for me, I really prefer niche Italian houses. I just feel like they do beautiful craftsmanship, oftentimes at very fair prices. Oftentimes, not all the time, but certainly with Masque Milano, just great pricing and great craftsmanship and quality products. So I want to thank Masque Milano for sending me these. Hope you're enjoying my Sensafari videos. Let me know if you have any questions, and of course I will link to the house in the description. Guys, you already know what it is. My name is Maximilian, and I'm